How are we doing, guys? We are back again. Southampton versus Leeds, the penultimate game of the season. Big match preview. We are back once again. Rhiannon joins us, and so does Phil. So does Philip. He also joins us. And we're trying to work out, who that guy is in the top left.
These two have been calling me fucking Lord Voldemort. I think that's well harsh, don't you?
Yeah, more than that.
It is, isn't it? I know Hermione in the comments was saying I was looking dashing yesterday. So I don't know. I suppose, to be honest, right, I've had loads, and I've had to Google half of the names, and some are good, some are bad.
I've got another one.
Go on then.
I mean, it could be one of either, but Dr. Evil or Mini-Me, whichever one you want.
Oh, that's harsh, isn't it, Oscar?
That's a bit harsh, that. It's a bit harsh.
Just a bit harsh, isn't it? I mean, say what you want, but
it's just generic, though, isn't it? That's just generic. That's a generic insult.
Listen, Oscar, it's water off a duck's back, mate. I've still got it, and I could still show Phil a thing or two when it. So it's all right.
The Gips and Peter Andre over there. All right.
This is better. Look, this is better.
Prime as well, not just Vin Diesel. Prime Vin Diesel as well. That's
Vin Diesel as Groot, maybe. I think that's probably.
This one's pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah, I've had that a load as well. Someone said Gary's joined all Leeds TV, so I was like, yeah, fair enough.
Right then, guys. Before we get into it, we'll find ourselves.
Just had Matt Lucas.
Oh my God.
I've had some beauties.
Let's remind ourselves of our fantastic sponsors on this particular video. It is Football Prizes, the brilliant Football Prizes. I'm sure you will have checked them out already, but in case you haven't, 2 good prizes on offer here. First of all, an Ian Pervader signed and framed Leeds United shirt, future Leeds United number 7, Ian Pervader. $4.95 a ticket, 99 tickets available. Competition ends on Wednesday, and we also have. Wow, what about this one? What about this piece? $6.95 a ticket, $6.95, 99 tickets available. Look at the montage behind him as well. It's just a fantastic piece. It is Pele, and it does close on the same time as the Ian Pervader one. So check them out, guys. Football Prizes, if you haven't done already, check them out, guys. So let's get straight into this. I think the first question I wanted to ask across the board here, Rodrigo or Bamford, who starts up top for you tomorrow night, Phil?
You're going to hate this answer.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. Matthias Klich's not involved, is he? So I say both.
Actually, I might then.
Yeah, why not?
No, I don't. Sorry, I think he'll go Roberts. I think
he will go Roberts. Yeah. But on current form, why? Surely we'd all rather see Rodrigo start. On current form.
Not out of position, though.
No, not out of position. That's what I mean. I think I'd still prefer Roberts in midfield as opposed to Rodrigo. Just my opinion. I would, honestly, and I know Roberts can frustrate me and stuff, but I think I'd still prefer him over Rodrigo in midfield. I think the experiment of Rodrigo in midfield has not worked. It was probably a needs-must issue with Bielsa. It looks like he's looking forward to next season, the fact that he's let Klich and that go, because it's like, we've got 2 games left. We're probably going to finish at least top 10. Maybe that was the target he set for the season. And he's happy to let them go. I've seen a picture of Rodrigo as well with mate and an aeroplane. Someone put that on Twitter, and I was like, is he gone as well? Like, because I don't know where he's going in the space of 24 hours, but it was on his Instagram, a picture of an emoji of a plane and something. So I don't know.
At this time in the season, surely talking about getting on a plane anywhere must be to do with the Euros, right?
Yeah. Possibly, yeah. Maybe
because he's going to play for Spain, isn't he?
Yeah, true. Might be just due to with the call. Yeah, fair point.
So who are you saying, Rhiannon?
I'm saying Bamford.
Okay.
I am. I just think because Bielsa just very rarely changes, and I know Rodrigo is in form, but still Bamford is very consistent. Like, even though he's not scoring the goals, he's still consistent in his way of play. So I think he'll start with Bamford, and then if obviously Rodrigo hasn't got anywhere, and we do have Rodrigo, he'll be brought on as a sub, around the 60th minute again.
And I wonder, I guess the main question is, poor me for not knowing that, but the main question of that is Oscar, will you be setting off the plane to Southampton or bringing them into landing, possibly?
Oh, dear
You beat me to it.
I'll take it. Being a pilot, it's not the worst thing in the world, is it?
You could be called Lord Voldemort. I mean, fucking hell.
That's it. I've felt bad before now, and now I'm thinking I'll get away with it quite a bit now, But are you saying, mate, up top tomorrow night?
I think he'll go Bamford, but I would like Rodrigo, not because I just would like to see more of him, because I think it's going to be a good shootout between them for next season. It's looking really exciting, and Phil got me a little bit excited when he mentioned, because I've not had the chance to listen to it yet, about the podcast and them saying that Rodrigo's going to be up there with player of the season next year. They're that confident, so that's got my juices flowing a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, let's see more of him. I'm hopeful that maybe the fact that he's let Klich go and he's let Koch go, that there's a small chance we might see the likes of Geldart and that before the end of the season comes. I don't know. Maybe. I'd like that. Whether or not it'll happen. Yeah.
I think everyone would like it, but I just don't think that's the Bielsa thing to do, really, is it? We all want to see it, but he's just not that way inclined. I think he'd rather honour the competition, the integrity, whatever you want to call it, and put his strongest side out. So I think, for me, seeing Klich in particular go, I don't think Robin Koch makes a massive difference because he's not been getting the head of Llorente anyway. But I think Klich going just probably. I agree with you. I do expect to see Tyler Roberts start tomorrow, but I would like to see, based on form, I'd like to see Rodrigo and then maybe a bit more flexibility.
Do you think, though, Phil, you get the same Rodrigo
playing as a midfield? Well, it really depends on whether he's playing as a midfielder. It depends on what. Because Southampton have been they've been in a 4-2-2-2 for a little while now, but it wouldn't be crazy to see them come out in a back three. They have got a squad that could do that. So I don't know. It depends on the formation. It depends on what happens during the game. But I think we've all come to the conclusion, based on his fitness this season, that Rodrigo is more effective off the bench at this moment in time. And then starting games, I don't think he's looked quite the same yet. So maybe that would be my justification for expecting Tyler to start. But based on the 3 goals in 2 games, I'd like to see him and Bamford actually get a bit of time on the pitch together. And there's been times, obviously, recently where Bamford's been taken off for Rodrigo when I felt that Bamford looked isolated. And I think the only time where I've felt that was remedied was in the last game against Burnley. I thought Bamford looked isolated. Rodrigo came on, got 2 goals. But before that, he's come on for Bamford, where I've personally felt they could have both benefited from playing together.
I don't. It reminds me a bit of like the Roof and Bamford in the first season, where we kind of tried to play them both together, and it didn't really. It looked great on paper, but it just didn't work. They were like getting in each other's way. Both wanted to make the same kind of runs, but I'm going to come in with a bit of a hot.
Aren't anywhere near the same though. They're very, very different.
No, I know that. I'm just saying that. But I still think I just don't think it's worked whenever they have played on the pitch together. But I'm going to come in with a bit of a hot take here. What about Pablo? Klich's not. Klich? No. Obviously not up front. God, you really are.
Put him up front.
No, not up front, Phil. Not up front. But if Klich's been let go for these last 2 games, I personally think it might be a case of Pablo might just be given those last 2 games to play where Klich does alongside Dallas. And I think it'll be Rodrigo will start 1 game, Bamford will start the other. I do genuinely think that. I think there might be a little bit of rotation between the 2 because it's going to be 3 games in 8 days by the time we get over to the West Brom game. So asking Bamford to do 3 games in 8 days when we've got Rodrigo available, I think there's a possibility you might see 1 start 1 game, 1 start the other game, because I think it's quite telling that Klich and Koch were allowed to go, but not Rodrigo. I think that suggests to me that
not Phillips or not Llorente or not. Yeah.
I think he wants to see a bit more of Rodrigo. I genuinely do think that. I think he's seeing what he wants to see from Koch.
Down to fitness, though, hasn't he?
Exactly. But
I think it's very. Sorry, I think it's
No,
very
it's-
telling in the Klich situation as well, because I think it just proves Phil had mentioned it for quite some time, and I know a few others had about him carrying an injury, and I think it just proves that fact that he hasn't been quite up to it, and he's been given the time to play himself into a bit of form, and then Bielsa's gone, do you know what, lad? You get yourself off now. And it's not something you'd probably expect of him, so I think it shows those that were having a go at Klich, that he's still a Don.
Exactly. I think it's a loss tomorrow, Klich. I think, in terms of who comes in to replace him, I think there's going to be a drop-off, whoever it is, to be honest. I don't think Roberts, Rodrigo, Pablo, as much as I hate to say it, have put in a performance anywhere near the quality of Klich's last two performances. I don't know what you think, Rhiannon.
No, I agree with you, Oscar. I mean, I think Klich will be a loss for these last two games. I think he's definitely improved in form, especially the last two games. And it would have been nice just for him to finish off the season and maybe try and bag another goal or something. But yeah, I'm struggling though I can see your point on Pablo, but I'd probably prefer Tyler. Even though he's frustrated me, like he still has shown flashes of, it's just I suppose all we've really had to base off Pablo is what was it, the first game of the season, and then just these odd bursts of 10 minutes of substitutions. It's not really enough, is it? And I think probably down to his age, he just doesn't have the legs for it in the Prem anymore, which is a shame. But I don't know, he may have a show against West Brom, the last 10 minutes to say his final hurrah. But yeah, I'd probably play Tyler alongside Dallas.
Okay. I mean, it's
Pablo's
interesting
got to
though,
play
isn't
on
it?
Sunday.
Yeah, if he doesn't,
Got to play on Sunday.
Yeah.
He has to play on Sunday.
Yeah,
that's happening.
And I think he will. I think Bielsa will. Regardless of what's gone off this season, because it's obvious that it felt to me a little bit, and this is no ITK shit, it's just what I say, what I thought. I thought the relationship soured a little bit between them.
Yes.
There was obviously something amiss, but I still think the club, I'm not saying they have any sort of impact in team selection, but we look what they did for Berardi. They gave him an extra year, when he got injured, because he deserves that, and I think even if we see Pablo's second half, he will play some part, but I would love to see him start. It's against West Brom, with all due respect. They're still that same championship side that we faced last season, and I think Pablo will be okay in that role. And I just hope he does play, man, because, just want to say bye.
It would be
good. We all do, right? We all want to say bye.
Imagine not seeing Pablo even in the squad on Sunday.
Yeah,
it'd be horrible,
that'd be really gutting. Yeah.
I can't see it though. Really, really can't see that. But I mean, do you see? There's even a case of will Alioski play tomorrow? After obviously we know what's happened with this Dwight McNeil stuff. I'm not going to comment on that because there's no point in us commenting on that. But I mean, do you see a case, Rhiannon, where Bielsa might just rest Alioski as well after obviously what's happened on Saturday? Not that I'm saying I believe Burnley or I believe Alioski, just with what happened in terms of all the drama and that lot. Would you say he will start still?
I still think he'll start. I think Bielsa's got one of them mentalities of you're still innocent until proven guilty, and I think he'll stick by his player.
And even when guilty, you're innocent.
Yeah.
I mean, he still backs thingy.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Exactly.
He does.
He still backs Alioski. Yeah.
Who else would play though? That's the thing I'd ask as well. Like, who else would play left back?
This is it, isn't it? Because you'd end up probably moving Dallas back to left back, and then who then takes over midfield? It's a bit of a I can't find the word of it now. A conundrum, I suppose. To actually, to think who would take over Dallas's position in midfield, because he's done so well. I wouldn't want to move him out of there at all.
We saw what happened when Dallas moved out of midfield against Brighton. It was like Never again.
Never.
Never again. Never again. But, I mean, do you see a case, Joe, of possibly seeing a Gelhardt come off the bench and Niall Huggins come off the bench again, Greenwood, etc., these kind of players? Do you see them possibly getting some minutes over the next sort of 5 days or so?
Maybe against West Brom. I've seen someone put it in the comments. Maybe even Gaetano might get a start against West Brom. I don't know. I just don't think Bielsa's that guy. I just think Pablo's a different kettle of fish. But we might see Gelhardt because, like I say, Klich's not involved, is he? So there's an extra spot on the bench there. I do think Roberts will start. Who do you bring on in midfield if he wants to change it? Maybe persist with Rodrigo if Roberts is not up to it. But I think he keeps using him, as second striker, as it were. So maybe we'll see Gelhardt. I think Geldardt's the closest one. Maybe even Somerville. Maybe Somerville could get a shout. I don't know though, mate. We just don't know, do you? Because of how Bielsa is. Like Phil mentioned earlier about the old not wanting to. He would never do what Ollie did, for example, when Ollie made all them changes. I don't think Ollie did anything wrong personally because they had fucking 5 games in 8 days or whatever it was. But there was a big hoo-ha made over it, and I think Bielsa doesn't get himself in that situation. He never would want to discredit the competition, So it'd be interesting. I just don't know.
Well, Phil hates it when I do this bit, but predicted team for Leeds tomorrow is, as Phil said, Rodrigo to start alongside Dallas in midfield, Bamford up top. I mean, be interesting, won't it? But let's just have a quick look at Southampton's predicted team for tomorrow night, which is as follows. So it is Alex McCarthy in goal. Looks like a 4-2-2-2, as Phil mentioned. Kyle Walker-Peters, Jan Bednarak, Vestergaard, Salisu, and then a midfield 2 of Romeu and Ward-Prowse. Armstrong and Redmond. They're saying Romeu to start here. They're saying he's
for the season
back available.
Yeah, I thought they said last night that he was out for the rest of the season.
Our pitch wrecked him, didn't it?
Yeah.
It said available for selection again.
Oh, okay.
I think it'd be Armstrong, to be honest, in that midfield alongside him. But it looks like Ings and Adams is probably going to be the front two. I mean, it's kind of centre forward pairings go. That's a pretty decent pairing for me, Phil, in terms of Adams and Ings. We know what they can do. I mean, does that worry you a little bit?
No, not even slightly.
Not even Ings.
No, I to be honest, the first time we played them, I said on the preview show that I was shitting myself about the idea of playing Danny Ings and Che Adams, the form they were in, and I said before the Burnley game, man, I expect 9 points from the last 3 games. I actually think tomorrow night is going to be extremely like the Burnley game was. The first time we played Southampton, if you remember, they pressed us quite similarly to Burnley did the other day. They pressed us for 20, 25 minutes, and then they were knackered, and they gave nothing for the rest of the game. And I think towards the end of the game, I was sat there thinking this could be another 9-0. They could absolutely capitulate here because we were all over them, mate. 3-0 was a compliment to them in the end. And their manager was saying after the game, that was atrocious. I don't know how we've got away with 3-0. So I'm extremely confident again. I said 5-0 before the Burnley game. I'm going 4-0 at least tomorrow night. I'm still sat here thinking, you know what? Joe, you're going to love this. Europe is on in your eyes, yeah? I'm saying
it's 9. Not. What? It's not.
Fine. I'm saying 9-0's on.
Deary me.
Do you know what though? What I will say on the Europe thing, I've seen so many people jumping on that now, right? And they're jumping on it while it's too fucking late.
Yeah, it's too late.
Yeah, it's too late because it's not going to happen now. We'd have to have like a 10-goal swing and stuff. And I think people think that European football is going to drop to 8th. It's not. It's only ever going to go to 7th. We won't get in there, unfortunately. The Brighton loss killed us. We needed to have a near perfect run, but Brighton's done us. We've got a Southampton fan, Lou, who I know was on yesterday on the opposition preview, and he does say that Romeu is back in contention. He did also say he's clipping up what Phil's just said. So if it doesn't happen, Phil, then just be mindful
You've
of
asked
that.
for it, Phil. You have asked for it there, man.
Hey,
I'm not going to lie.
My prediction is 4-0 again, but 9 could be on based on the last time we played you, mate, because if you watched that second half, it could have been 9 then. So you're going to be a hell of a lot more tired tomorrow than you were that time. I don't see why you would possibly think anything other than 3-4-0 again is going to happen. I'm quite confident. I was quite confident.
Goal, innit? First goal is so important. And if we're leading at half time, we win anyway.
Yeah.
That's just what happens under MB. But first goal is always important, because if we get it, then, it'll just be, like you say, they'll have to come out. And I agree, I was listening to our stats, aren't we, earlier on. And they were saying the same things, like, they'll have that early spell. As long as we ride it out, then we'll just get stronger and stronger, like we did do against Burnley. We've seen that in a few games this season. You could even argue like Newcastle and stuff. When it gets to the last stages, Leeds just enter a different gear, and the other teams just can't compete. And we look like we could score at will. And I think there will be times tomorrow, especially on the counter, where we look like we will be able to score at will against Southampton. For me, so I don't want to go as bold as to say, 4-5-0, but you wouldn't be surprised if it did end that much. So, and I mean that, like you wouldn't be surprised.
So we're saying the band is booked out now until August. Are we saying that now? The band's out. Band's out till August. It's having a break. It's having a 3-month break, and it's going to be back on it from August. But what do you think to this battle then, Riyadh? I think this is a key battle, to be honest. I think Ward-Prowse, he's on 7 goals, 8 assists. Not quite as many as our Jackie, but he's still pretty good. As James Ward-Prowse. What are you thinking about this battle?
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be an interesting midfield battle. I mean, Ward-Prowse, we all know how dangerous he is at free kicks, especially when they're just outside the box. I mean, every time he has a free kick there, it always makes me worried, makes me nervous. But last time that happened, I think Meslier saved it, didn't he? Or it just missed over the crossbar. But yeah, I'd be definitely mindful of Ward-Prowse. So yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting. But I think KP will have him in his pocket all day long anyway.
What worries me most about Ward-Prowse is the set pieces, because Yannick Vestergaard is he's just a giant. He's just an absolute beast up top. He's a proper old school centre back.
Last time, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, Phil. I mean, what do you think this? Do you see Pascal beat on him again, or do you think maybe Llorente might be given that task this time?
Mate, set piece defending. I don't think Marcelo Bielsa gives a flying what about set piece defending.
He's not going to say, oh, just play it by ear. There's no way Bielsa is going to say to any phase of play. He's just going to say, play it by ear. Just hope for the best. Hope for the best. Like, he's not going to say that. Come on.
In murder ball, there's no set pieces. They just carry on. Like, they don't do free kicks, they don't do corners, nothing. They literally just play open play for an hour.
I'm aware what murder ball is.
Phil. No, but they genuinely don't practice corners. They don't practice free kicks. They literally just, bam, balls down, carry on. Like, there are days in training where no one will ever face a free kick, ever face a corner. Like, that wouldn't happen at any other club in the Premier League. So the stat that we're so susceptible from set pieces, it's not a surprise because he puts so much focus on the other stuff. I'm not saying that's a criticism of him. Like, look at the state of us. Look where we are. Like, I'm not remotely sad about that. And when it comes to set pieces, there's been times where, I've just made that point. There's been times where Llorente's looked susceptible against certain defenders as well. There's been times where Strikes look susceptible personally against Vestergaard. I mean, for me, as long as it's not Luke Ayling marking him, I'm not that bothered.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But to be fair, Joe, Luke Ayling was winning headers against Burnley. He was in there. He was beating Chris Wood to headers against Burnley. Yeah,
it was quite a surprise, wasn't it? I remember saying it, because normally anywhere outside of the area is good, but when he's in his own box, he just falls to pieces. But he was good at the weekend. I do think I remember that, you just jogged my memory. I remember Strout getting lost numerous times against Vestergaard, to be fair. Did he pass him on, Oscar, in the second half, or did he actually pass him on?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I just remember it was a shambles for like that first half an hour, where it's just like he must have had 3 or 4 decent chances, Vestergaard.
Yeah. I do think, like, just on the set pieces, I don't know, I think we're much better at them now. Like, we are so much better than them now. I'm not really concerned about them anymore. I think it's easy for commentators especially to label us with, they can't defend from set pieces, but a lot of that's due to the earlier part of the season when we were shy at set pieces. We're now not. When was the last time we conceded from a set piece?
No, exactly. I think it's got to take really good delivery now. So I think the last time, was it West Ham? I think the last one where, was it Dawson?
And that's a long time ago, right?
Months ago. But it was a good delivery, to be fair. I think it's got to be a good delivery now to score a set piece against us. Meslier, for me, Rhiannon, is the most important part of that. It's not the fact he comes for the corners. He actually catches them as well. He doesn't just punch and panic. It's just also composed. Like against Burnley, he had Chris Wood trying to take him out, Tarkowski trying to knee him in the back. Didn't bother him at all. He's aggressive. I mean, he's so key, isn't he, Rhiannon, in every aspect of our play, but certainly set pieces at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think he definitely was part of our success in actually defending their counterattacks. I mean, some of the saves he made, especially against Vidra, I mean, was just like, I don't think you could see another goalkeeper not in the top 6, of standard make that save. And I just think he's definitely improved, especially the last sort of 6 to 8 games. He's definitely more commanding. Like you said before, he catches the ball. He's not punching them away. He seems a bit more assured in himself. So yeah, I think he was, like, against Burnley, he was my man of the match. I just thought it was just incredible, and it really says a lot when of course your goalkeeper can trust his defense, and then obviously the defense trusts the keeper. And I think he's got a really good relationship going on with Llorente and Pascal, and I think they just work great together.
No, they do. It's just a combination, isn't it? I think Meslier being commanding breeds confidence into Strauch. Strauch is learning from Llorente. Llorente feels confidence in Meslier and Strauch. It just works like that, doesn't it? I think it's just it's what's the word for it? There's some kind of special word for that anyway. What is it? Synergy or something like that. It's something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what are you saying to this, Phil? I'm saying Meslier's top 4. I'm not sure he's the top keeper. I'm not sure he's Edison Allison class, but he's top 4 in the league for me.
Definitely top 4 in the league. I mean, Allison, it's very easy today based on the fact he scored, yesterday?
I was going to say,
Basically just on that. Come on.
I'm not being funny, mate. This season, Illan Meslier is twice the goalkeeper that Alisson Becker is. And I know Liverpool fans will think, what a stupid thing to say. Have you seen the state of your goalkeeper this season? With his feet, it's been a catastrophe. Like, our goalkeeper has been criticised for Tottenham game. He gives the ball away, Alioski's penalty and that. Then you've got the Arsenal game. He had shaky first half, an hour, etc., whatever. Other than maybe that Arsenal game and the odd mistake, you would really struggle to find a long period of time where Illan Meslier hasn't been world class this season. Some of the saves that he's pulled out, that Sheffield United save of the season for me, from Lundstrom, like.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's getting better and better and better. He's a record holder for every single category now when it comes to keepers of his age in the Premier League. I think, like I've said a million times, best goalkeeper we've had since Nigel Martin. I think we should try and keep hold of him for the next 10 years and we're sorted. I wouldn't have anybody else.
I'm sick of hearing about Emiliano Martinez now. He's a very good goalkeeper, but it's all about Martinez this, Martinez that. oh, he's the greatest signing in the history of the Premier League and all that. But you just see it off Villa fans. Mind you, Villa fans think Jack Grealish is the best player in the world, but that's a different matter. But all you see everywhere is, oh, how good's Martinez been this season? How great is he? I'm personally taking Meslier over him. Age factor, better with his feet. Yes, Martinez maybe has that little bit more physicality over him, but for me, I still think Meslier, for the fee we got him for, a third of the cost of Martinez, I would still personally say Meslier is the better goalkeeper. The only three keepers I'm taking over Meslier at this moment in time, as I've said, Alisson, Ederson, Mendy at Chelsea. That's all I can think of personally. But I mean, how high would you rate him, Rhiannon?
Oh, I'd rate him highly. It's really hard not to be biased because, like, I do watch Ederson and like Mendy and stuff like that. But when you've got a young goalkeeper who's only 21, has got 11 clean sheets, and like the likes of Ederson and that haven't even got. Do you know what I mean? He's just smashing stats, and it's hard for me to say that he's not the best keeper in the Premier League right now but you know, that is exactly where I'm at. But I would say he's definitely in the top four. Yeah, I just think he's the best keeper we've had. And also, I do agree with the whole thing about Emilio Martinez. I mean, yeah, he's done well for Villa. Don't get me wrong, but I don't get the consistent hype over him when you've got our goalkeeper, you know, smashing these stats, and he's not getting the same recognition. It's a bit frustrating, but I just see it as the fact that he's Leeds, and that's the whole reason why it's being downplayed.
Yeah, I mean, big thanks to Robert Swift, by the way. Big thanks to a fantastic member, Robert Swift, for this donation. I think it shows having a settled unit can achieve. Mistakes will always happen. That's the game, but the defence is the positive for us. I mean, where would you rank Meslier, Mr. Wayman? Yeah.
I do think he's definitely up there. I do like Martinez, though. You know, at Villa, I think. Obviously, it's because he's a brand new signing and they only paid 80 million for him. I think it makes it even more glaring, the fact that Arsenal have got gash goalkeepers as well, the fact that they sold him. And he has had a really big impact at Villa in terms of them from a defensive standpoint. But look, Meslier, like Phil said, like if you can get him signed on a long-term deal, it'd be fucking amazing because the guy is special. To think that he's only 21 and the fact that we paid 5 million for him. Look, Kepa Arrizabalaga went for about 70-75 million. No disrespect. If he continues in this form, this kid could go for the same amount, you know, if not more. And we are a Leicester, you know, in that respect. And we have to accept that fact that sometimes these players move on, and you can't tell me, maybe even... I know Phil's gone through some stats, but I'm reading it and it's really glaring. It says PSG. I know that's not what he's wrote, but PSG would look at him though. Like that would maybe PSG would look at him in the long term. They could though, right? I know that's not
exactly. This summer they could.
Someone they would go for.
This summer they could, if we're being honest. But
that's what I'm saying. You know, how old's Navas?
Like
35, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a goner, isn't he? He's a goner. So. You know, they could look at...
he's a goner. He's only mid-30s.
Nah, but he's old, though, is what I'm saying. Yeah. And PSG have big bucks, and if they're looking at a long-term replacement, he's French. You can't tell me he wouldn't want to go back to Paris. I don't know if that's where I'm from, but you can't tell me he wouldn't want to go to Paris and play at the highest level. So he's that good for me. I get what Phil was saying about Alisson as well. Obviously, Alisson's better, but... He has had a shaky season. I know we have a lot of Liverpool friends in the community, and I've seen all the videos, and fair play, scored the goal that might keep them back in the Champions League, and it is an amazing moment, but he hasn't had a great season. I think the best part of his season for me has been his tash. I thought he looked pretty cool when he had that tash, but other than that, he's been pretty woeful. But yeah, I'd put him ahead of Mendy. I don't know where you get the Mendy thing from. I think a lot of that's due to the fact with how poor Kepa was. and a lot of media hype around who he came in and he had 6 clean sheets in a row. And that's,
Mendy's made some great saves.
I wouldn't say he's. I would still have Meslier over Mendy, not over Alisson or Edison, but I'd have Meslier over Mendy. Just my opinion. I think there's a lot of hype there. It's no secret that Chelsea are looking at goalkeepers. Why are they looking at goalkeepers if they've got Mendy?
Because they want to get rid of Kepa, because Kepa's like not even.
Mendy's going to be sitting on the bench, right? Mendy's going to be sitting on the bench. So
I don't disagree with that, but it's Chelsea,
of course,
isn't it?
Let's not forget the best of the lot, Areola.
David, I know. 6 weeks ago, you were saying Areola was better, and now
remove him. Get rid of him, Oscar.
You know. And Aida's better than Dallas as well.
Oh, fuck off. I've stopped doing them now.
Good.
I've heard the rumour that Just Joe's going to be in competition with Benjamin Bloom next season now that Fulham have gone down. That's the rumour I've heard.
Let's not forget about Schmeichel as well, actually. There's
Schmeichel's a shout.
His save against Mason Mount was exceptional in the FA Cup final.
He's top 4, is he? He's top 4/5, whatever you want.
Yeah.
He's a top quality player for me, Illan Meslier. But, I mean, obviously looking back onto the game, I mean, where do you think this game is won or lost for you, Phil?
I think it's already won. I've already said that. Mate, I was cocky before Burnley, and then I was really smug after it. I intend to do the same here. I think we're gonna next 2 games. I expect at least 6 goals from the 2 games. I expect 6 points, 6 goals from the next 2 games, and I expect
who's scoring them though? Because Bamford's only allowed to score 1. Phil
Rodrigo at the moment, mate. So don't matter to me. I think
I just hope that he doesn't score the exact amount that you apparently spoke about.
That I definitely spoke about.
I was still waiting for the video. Why didn't you send the clip?
Mate, I'm not going back looking for it. I've already
Don't lie, man. Because he's looking for it and it's not there.
Mate, it doesn't exist. Tasha's already backed me up. I don't need this. I'm happy with it. It's fine.
Tasha's full of it.
That's fine. But no, I think Rodrigo, if he plays at any point at the moment, whether that's starting, coming off the bench, you'd bag him to score, of course. Whether he gets 5 minutes or not, you'd still think he's going to score at the way he's playing at the moment. I think Rafa could do with a goal and to get himself back into some sort of form, because he's not looked the same. I'd be fuming, wouldn't I? Absolutely gutted. No, I think Raphinha ideally would get one. Let's get a defender a goal. Maybe an Ayling. Ayling's not scored this season. I want to see Ayling score.
Has he not? Ayling?
Technically, no, because he got ruled offside, didn't it?
It was offside, wasn't it? He got the hair out and everything.
He got the hair out.
He got the rock star out, and I was so gutted for him.
Let's get him a chance to get the hair out.
Yeah.
I've got no criticism of VAR anymore.
There's a lot of Roberts in the comments.
What, after Sunday?
No, just about him scoring a goal.
What, Roberts? Yeah. I mean, he needs one. At this moment in time, the luck he's had lately, I just don't think he'll get one.
He even had to go with his left, didn't he? Like, he was busting through and he thought, I'm not giving it Rodrigo. BPF's in there. If I have a strike at goal, there's a high chance it might go in. So this is my moment. And it was just straight at him. He should have just given it Rodrigo for the hat-trick, man.
Yeah.
I know, I was gutted for Rodrigo to not get his hat-trick.
I wonder if they'll be sitting next to each other on the plane, with Roberts and Rodrigo. Funny feeling they're probably not.
Awkward.
Funny feeling they're probably not sat next to each other on the plane, kind of thing. But I can imagine Rodrigo will have definitely been in his ear for probably an hour after the game, just like, why didn't you just pass it to me, mate?
Didn't he just walk off? Didn't he? He just kind of walked off on his own, didn't he, Rodrigo?
He's probably trying to just restrain himself from
from lamping Roberts
just
on the
lamping
pitch.
Roberts on the pitch, kind of thing. But
get Chris
Telly's fuming.
Yeah.
See, I think if Bamford probably isn't that fussed about something like that, but
no.
But I think a Raphinha or a Rodrigo, you do it to a Raphinha or a Rodrigo, something like that. I think you're getting a couple of words from them. I think you're getting a couple of words from them somehow. But yeah, look, I think we all want to see Pablo, not Pablo, but we want to see Pablo score. But we want to see Tyler score as well. Ideally, we want to see them all score, don't we, Phil? We want to see them all get on the score sheet at some point.
Mate, there's only 10 outfield players. I've only said 9, so you're going 10 there.
Maybe Meslier scores, doesn't Allison?
Meslier scores. We're all on the pitch. We'll drive down to Southampton. Let's go.
Oh, dear me. But Wayman, anything that worries you about Southampton tomorrow night? Though it could potentially, it's almost like you say, it's almost a shock if Southampton win this game tomorrow night, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
We are favourites going into this.
Yeah, no, we are. I don't know, like the two up top, obviously they are decent. Shea Adams is decent. What's he got, 8 goals, is it? 8 goals maybe? Danny Ings, we know when he's on fire.
9, I think Dan was saying.
Is it 9?
I think it's 9, is it? Yeah.
And am I right in saying Danny Ings didn't start the last game? Did he come off the bench?
He came off the bench from what I remember.
So he might start, and he is a great player, let's be honest. I think if Harry Kane goes this summer, he might go to Spurs. They
don't tend to let him start more than 1 game a week, though, do they?
They don't.
Nah, he's not fit enough. They don't trust his knees, I think.
Okay. Did he start at the weekend when they won 3-1?
I think so, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So maybe if he doesn't start, we'll have to wait and see, because he's obviously a massive threat. I think
that'd be nice, though, wouldn't it, if he doesn't start? How much of a boost would that be if he's not on that team sheet?
And I do like Armstrong in midfield. I think he can be a threat. And of course, we know about James Ward-Prowse as well. Be interesting to see if that kid Teller plays. I think he was good last time out. I know he dived.
I was going to say he was a bit sneaky.
Yeah, but he was good. But the lads last night were saying that it's just his final ball, his end product was gash, and it was the same against Leeds. He kept getting into dangerous areas and didn't do naught with it, and decided to hit the deck, didn't he? But he's good, and like the man there, Raj, has just mentioned about the wing backs. Kyle Walker-Peters is decent going forward, and I don't think Bertrand's going to play, but. Cause he's not signing a contract, is he? He wants gone. But he'd be another one as well. But I think we've got enough to deal with them, mate. I'm confident going into the game.
I'm not going to go into too much into this, but this is more incentive now tomorrow. More incentive to win that game tomorrow. No reason. Ben's a good friend of the channel, but let's hope KP goes right through him then in the first 5 minutes. So if that's the case. So pass the message on to KP, will you, please, Ben? And we'll get that one sorted for you. Do you think the crowd makes it? We discussed with the Southampton fans yesterday, Rhiannon, in terms of the crowd. They were saying that 8,000 will make quite a difference. They thought tomorrow in St Mary's being a smaller ground than your traditional Prem ground. I mean, do you think it makes a big difference, little difference, or no difference at all?
Well, it depends how they are, isn't it? I mean, if you had 8,000 Leeds fans, then I'd say 100% it would make a difference. But I don't know. I don't know how their fans are. Is it going to be 8,000 people that just sit there and not make a noise? Like, because that's not going to be very intimidating, is it? So, yeah, we'll just have to see. I'm not 100% sure. I mean. I don't know. Maybe in the crucial parts of the game, maybe they could be the 12th man, but no, I think Leeds will have too much for him, if I'm being honest. And I think because I think we've definitely improved since we played against them, and I think we'll get the win.
We've only played in front of fans once this season, haven't we? It was at Stamford.
Chelsea.
Yeah. We took the lead early. And then that's the only time we've taken the lead early and not gone on. Or is it when we're leading at half time that we don't lose?
Half time, isn't it?
Half time.
Yeah. But I don't know. Do you think it was the fans that impacted us that day at Chelsea? I don't.
No.
It was only 2,000, didn't there?
Well, yeah, I think that was
I don't think it's a case of fans that are going to be the problem. I think the game's going to be the game regardless. And I could understand if it was a full stadium, but it might feel a bit weird for them. First time they've seen that many fans in a ground for just over a year now. So perhaps, but
because Southampton had them in already, Phil. We were speaking to them last night. You know, you had different tiers.
Yeah.
They've already had fans in this.
Oh, no, I meant for our players.
Or ours, yeah.
Our players obviously
Chelsea,
haven't. Yeah, other than Chelsea, they haven't seen fans in a long time, our players. But you'd imagine they'd still remember how to do it in front of fans.
It all depends on how the game goes, doesn't it?
Mm.
You know what I mean? If we get a first goal, then it's going to have an adverse effect. If it's tight and they get in front, then it might be totally different. You know what I mean? I think they can have an impact. I would expect Ellen Road next weekend to have a positive impact. Surely it must.
Yeah, Ellen Road. Yeah. I mean, did anyone watch the Bournemouth-Brentford game just before this?
Yeah, it was class,
It took me 20 minutes to realise any fans were in. They only really got going when Bournemouth scored. I mean, it took me 20 minutes.
It was class to hear it, though, right?
Yeah, it was. But at the start of the game, though, there was hardly any kind of atmosphere. It was just like I'm not saying Bournemouth and Southampton are the same. They kind of are, kind of thing in terms of fans. So I can't see it being. I don't know about you, Joe. I mean, do you see it being intimidating? It's not like we're going to.
No, definitely not. No,
not
I'm
like
not
Millwall, is it? With fans in the ground.
Millwall, is it? It's not. Yeah, no. It'll be more an intimidating atmosphere against Chelsea than it's going to be anywhere close to a Southampton. You know, anywhere close. So, and if we get the goal early, then you probably won't hear them. It's a fact. You know, I think. At Leeds, it's different, although there has been times where things aren't coming off and we can easily get on, but that's just fans in general, isn't it? You know, you get moans, you get groans, but I think no matter what happens again at Ellen Road, I think we'll just all be happy to be there because it's been so long, whereas Southampton have already experienced fans, so maybe it won't have that same effect. I fully expect Leeds to go out busting it on Sunday because of the fans, you know, the Raphinha and that never played in front. It's going to be a different kettle of fish, but I think we can quiet any sort of noise they have if we can score early anyway, to be fair. So it's just good that there are fans back in the ground. Apparently the Bournemouth fans were singing "We All Hate Leeds Scum" as well for a period of time. I didn't hear it, but someone tagged me on Twitter. No, the Bournemouth fans. I mean, I know we went down to the beach, didn't we? When we won the title and fucked the place up kind of vibe, but still though
Jack
it was like
there. Jack was there.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
He was.
Was he?
Yeah, he was. He was.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. I mean, I think I've lost the comment now, but Chris Kelly was talking about Jack Harrison, obviously record breaker so far this season in terms of goal contributions, 16 for the season. I mean, Phil, just how impressed have you been by Jack? I mean, he's gone under the radar for me compared to Bamford and Raphinha in terms of that front three. He's probably the one that's got the least love out of the three over the season.
Probably the one that's most picked on if he doesn't get a goal or an assist in a game. I think people just sort of assume that when he doesn't do either, then he's done nothing. But defensively, I think he contributes more than the other two by a mile. And I mean, obviously Bamford's good at pressing from the front, but we've all acknowledged time after time on this show that Jackie's the most effective presser we have in our squad by a mile, I think. And he's got legs for days, and he just never stops running. And obviously that cloud touch is. It's just, he's got. I know Grealish has been injured for a long time. More goals and assists than Grealish, more goals and assists than Phil Foden. Gareth Southgate ain't just watching Paddy Bamford, and he ain't just watching Calvin Phillips. He's got to be watching Harrison. I know you said the other night we've got wide options. We've got people that can play in that position. You got a 26-man squad, mate. I think there's as much chance of Harrison going to a Euros as there is Bamford, to be honest.
I'll be honest, I think it's only going to be KP.
Right.
I think the fact Trent Alexander-Arnold, there's talk of him not even going. I just can't see anyone new coming into the group now. I just can't see it, to be honest. But I'd love it to, don't get me wrong, and I think it will happen next year. I think it will if he carries on playing like he is, and Bamford. But I'm just going to say...
You could argue, right? Sterling doesn't deserve to go. Harrison deserves to go over Sterling, but you know Sterling's going to go.
Yeah, but...
Sterling's not had a great season. He's not.
No, I agree.
I don't think Harrison will be in anywhere close, if I'm being honest. And I think it's a bit of a... it's a difficult situation because of the amount of talent we've got in that position, you know. I don't even think Bamford will go, guys. I think it'll just be KP.
I agree. I think that's Logan Batterson asking, was Jed at Bournemouth? I'm just going to give that a no comment answer that one. I'm going to give that a solid no comment, that one, because
yes.
Yes. People don't know if Jed was there or not. But anyway, the thing is, you only have to look at the way Southgate picks a team, Joe. I mean, Sterling will definitely be in there. It doesn't matter if Sterling didn't score all season. He's still be in that starting 11.
People are saying Eric Dyer as well, bro.
Eric Dyer.
Fucking shocking.
Mings.
He can't go.
I know. I can't. Honestly, after seeing how Mings and Dyer have played this season, I do not know how they deserve to go to the Euros at all. They've been shocking.
People like Mings, yeah. It's the Pontus Jansson effect. It's the Pontus Jansson effect. In that he bangs his chest. He's very vocal. He's such a big character that people get, carried away with it. They do.
Yeah.
You know what? And it is the Pontus Jansson effect. I agree with Raj. Konza is
miles better.
And deserves to be in over Mings, but he won't get in. Eric Dyer's woeful. Sterling's not had a great season, although I would still say take Sterling just because of his, experience at that level and being in and around it and stuff. But yeah, look, I think Luke Ayling should have got a call up when he did. But I mean, he's never going to get it. If you're not taking Trent, then you're not taking Bill Ayling, Paddy Bamford should be in with the shout, but I think he missed the boat. Listen, if Watkins goes, then it's a different story. I could understand an Ings or something. I could, just because of, Ings. But if Watkins goes and Paddy doesn't, I think it's a joke.
Yeah.
But KP definitely goes.
I think what's Calvert-Lewin done this second half of the season?
No,
but he's like, in terms of like, because he's a bit more established, he'll go anyway. But you can't tell me that Bamford wouldn't offer more than Calvert-Lewin on current form in the tournament. I just don't see it. I just don't see how Calvert-Lewin offers more.
I just think it's the way they play, isn't it? It's just the way it's just the way Southgate has them set up. Because I even say that when I see KP in like England, like he doesn't play as well as he does in Leeds. It's because of how Southgate have set them up, and he just doesn't have that effect. And then you have people slating him on Twitter, and I was like, well, it's no wonder you're slating him on Twitter, because you haven't seen the way that KP actually plays, because Southgate isn't playing him in the correct position.
They're better off not going. Don't let Southgate ruin them.
Exactly.
That's it, though. I'm not going to be crying tears in my eyes if England have a shocking tournament and KP hardly plays. I'm not really going to be that bothered. I'm thinking from a Leeds point of view. To be honest, any of our players, if Cox doesn't start for Germany at the Euros, if Klich goes out in the group stage with Poland, Llorente doesn't start for Spain, I'm really not bothered, to be honest. I really don't. I'm not that bothered at all. It's obviously it'd be nice to see him play, but it's just keeping them out of that shot window, isn't it? Really, Phil? I mean, I think it's just key things, just keep them out the shot window.
Which one? Are you talking KP?
Just any of them, any player like that.
I think we've got to a stage now where I don't think we need to worry about KP. I think as long as Leeds United are in the Premier League and we're on an upward trajectory, which we are, there's no denying that. Calvin Phillips ain't leaving, not for a while. I mean, if anything went catastrophically wrong, then maybe. I'd like to think that the way everything's going at the club at the moment, he's always going to be first choice. He's always going to get game time. He's always going to be made to be an important part of the group. I don't think it really matters how much people offer us for Calvin Phillips. I think I'd expect Angus Kinnear, Victor or whoever it is to bat it away quite quickly. Whereas, we've spoken about the Leicester City model and buying players in and selling them on for bigger fees. Like we were talking earlier about Meslier. Like, don't get me wrong, I would rather die than see Illan Meslier go for 20 million quid. That would genuinely tear me apart. He's worth at least 50 already. So, but if someone was to come in with a £50 million offer for Meslier and a £50 million offer for KP, and you can only keep one. I know this is a daft hypothetical scenario, but you're keeping Calvin all day. Whatever we bring in, and we sell on for a profit. That is the way that this is probably going to have to work if we want to get to the level that we want to get to. But the thing that we've all been really sad to see happen to our club over the last decade and a half is seeing beautiful talent coming through our academy being sold on for nothing, and we don't get to see Leeds boys in Leeds shirts representing us in the Premier League. And I think Calvin thankfully won't want to leave, and I think we're in a position where we won't need to sell. Whereas when it comes to those other players, if that has to happen for us to keep building towards what we need to get to with Calvin involved, then I think we'd be more likely to see it. Any of the people that we bought in go than Calvin.
No, that's a fair point. It's a fair point. But I mean, let's go for predictions. Let's get into some predictions then. I mean, Phil.
Before we do, I wanted to ask, because I guess everyone will have seen today on Twitter that the end of season player of the year, goal of the year, young player of the year. So I just thought I would ask each one of you, read out the selections and just see what you guys have picked, and people in the comments as well, if you could get involved. So player of the year, I've made my vote. I'll tell you after, but Oscar, and you guys, and then I'll ask you. So you've got an option: Luke Ayling, Paddy Bamford, Calvin Phillips, Diego Llorente, Stuart Dallas, Jack Harrison, Illan Meslier, or Raphinha. Oscar, who's your player of the year?
Dallas, easy.
Dallas.
See, simple, easy. Dallas.
Yeah. Phil?
Yeah, Stuart Dallas, mate. Easy.
Rhiannon?
Do you even have to ask? Dallas.
Yeah, I know. Everyone I've seen on Twitter is going for that as well. So, next one, goal of the season. So you've got Patrick Bamford's third versus Villa. Got 3 players around him and he pings it. Stuart Dallas's second versus Man City. Rodrigo's first versus Burnley. It was a little half turn, little dink. Jack Harrison versus Newcastle, just outside the box, if I remember rightly, the Rocket. Gianni Alioski versus West Brom. I can't remember that one. Does anyone remember that
think
one?
it's a second goal outside the box.
Yeah.
And there was like 4 of them lined up, and then Alioski just went straight out the top. Yeah.
We've got Raphinha versus Everton. I remember that one, that late.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Jack Harrison versus Liverpool on the opening day.
The good ones.
Paddy Bamford's versus Leicester. So they're your right choices. Rhiannon?
I'm going to go. That's a real tough one because I like about 4 of them. I'm going to go for Paddy Bamford against Villa. I just thought that was just beautiful. Little, like, it was always like dancing feet. I just loved it. I'm going to, that one.
Yeah. Phil?
I'm really torn. I don't know. I've got 2. I've got, because Harrison's versus Newcastle is my favourite goal for it being beautiful. But when it comes to moments and a moment in a season, Stuart Dallas, Man City, 93rd minute, nothing's going to beat that this season. Nothing. So I really don't know. I'd really struggle to pick between either of those 2.
Okay. Oscar?
I always love a team goal over like a absolute belter from like 30 yards. So, but don't get me wrong, there's been some absolutely brilliant goals. So it's a tough one between Rodrigo against Burnley or Bamford against Leicester, because that Leicester goal, the whole move, the speed of the counter-attack and just the way it passed off Klich and then Harrison into Bamford, absolutely superb goal. But I'm going to go Rodrigo Burnley, because we've got from back to front in about 4 passes. Calvin sprayed one down to Jack Harrison. Harrison's inch perfect is Rodrigo. Rodrigo 1 touch, 2 touch, bang. I think the most difficult goal, to score, to replicate, it's got to be that Rodrigo versus Burnley one for me.
Yeah.
It's just what Rodrigo does.
Against Tottenham's not in there for, like you said, the team goal aspect.
Yeah.
That was a lovely build-up.
Exactly. I mean, it's just the speed that went from back to front. Burnley couldn't set. It's a stunning goal. I'm going to go Rodrigo versus Burnley, but there's no chance that'll win it. But I'm going to go with team goal. What are you going for, Wayman?
I went for Patrick Bamford's third versus Villa. I think just the number of players he had round him, the feet, to ping it in the top corner from where he did, that was my pick. But I do think, I think that one will win it, but I think the Dallas one will come second because of what it meant. But the actual goal itself wasn't that great.
I know, but
it's
a moment, though, isn't it? It's moments goal.
Yeah.
It was a crap goal.
But the last one was a beauty as well.
Did you just say Stuart Dallas?
It was a crap
And
goal
then-
he scored. It was a fluke. Came for shit.
Young player of the season. Your options are Paveda, Meslier, and Pascal Struijk. Phil, come to you first.
Easy, Meslier.
Yeah. Rhiannon,
Meslier.
Oscar.
I think it's closer than you think. It's not Paveda. Come on, but I think Pascal, you've got to look at what he's
Definitely
done.
not Ian, is
It's not
it?
Paveda. That's just a. I don't think Paveda's voted for Paveda, to be honest. But I mean, but don't get me wrong, Pascal. You know the facts. It's going to be Meslier because he's played every game. It's got to be Meslier because he's played every game. But Pascal, in terms of what he's had to, in terms of how tough a step up it's been for him, the fact he hardly played last season. He's come in to play alongside Robin Koch. Then he's played alongside Llorente. Then he's played alongside Cooper. Then he's played CDM alongside Phillips. Our defensive records has undoubtedly been a lot better since Pascal came into the team long-term at centre-back. So he's definitely in for shout. I think if Meslier hadn't been as unbelievable as he has been, he'd have been a solid shout for it. But it's got to be Meslier. It's got to be Meslier. He's been world class.
This is like Messi and Ronaldo close. It ain't close.
Come on, Phil. He's done, Pascal's done. They've both been excellent.
He's been great, mate. He's been great. I'm not discrediting him. And Cristiano Ronaldo is a really good footballer, one of the greatest of all time. Messi is God.
No, it's not that.
Oh God!
No, look, the fact that Ilyan's in running for player of the season as well as young player, I think Meslier, it's a bit of a. I'd say it's a landslide if they were to produce a vote, but I'm not saying that Pascal hasn't had a great season because he has. But yeah, I think we're all pretty close. Cool. I just wanted to check that. But yeah, we'll wait and see. I'd love them to publish the numbers afterwards because I want to see just how much Dallas has won it by, and it'd be just class for them to see it. Before you do score predictions as well, Phil let me know earlier on that Mega Dick had said I looked like a boiled egg. And I said, don't worry, Phil. I've noticed it. What I'll do is I'm going to wait for Megadick to make a stupid comment, as he always does, and then I can go after him for it, right? And he's done it. He's done it. So I'm going to dig him out.
Go on. I want to see this.
So Megadick said, if we want to go to the next level, Harrison shouldn't be a part of it. Now, let me just remind Megadick that Jack Harrison has the most goal involvements from midfield than any other English player this season. He is second only to Bruno Fernandes, who could arguably be player of the season. He might not be. Maybe Ruben Diaz gets it. Maybe Gundogan gets it. But he's in everyone's team of the season, and he's second only to him. He's better than everyone else in terms of goal contributions from midfield. So Megadick, stop being a Richard, sort yourself out. I might look like a boiled egg, but I know a little tiny amount about ball. You, son, don't have a clue. Love you. now you can do score predictions.
Oliver Mount.
I just don't know. I just don't know where to go with that. He's just scored. He's just scored against Burnley and got 2 assists, and we're talking about him not being. Anyway,
we've got a super chat as well. Sorry. Tomorrow's attack needs to focus on Bednarak. Phil covers 1v1 better than Bednarak. Oh, this Phil. Sorry, I was like that bit more. You keep the attack on Jan. He will fold. Or Jan. Sorry, Jan. January Bednarak.
Big Jan at the back.
January, but yeah.
Is he on about Calvin Phillips or me?
Obviously you.
Oh, yeah.
Me? I don't cover 1v1.
I think he's on about you.
Is he on about me Megan people?
I don't, you didn't make it.
He's probably basing it on that clip.
Well, I am that good, Luke. So thank you, mate.
Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, though, Luke. You're an absolute legend. Always supporting the channel since day dot. You're a top guy, so thank you very much. Oscar, do you want to do your score predictions after I hijack the show? I'm sorry.
No, not at all, man. Not at all. I mean, any chance to have a go at Mega King is got to be taken. Got to be taken. Especially if he's calling you like a boiled egg, then you should, I think you should have gone in harder. To be honest, I mean, But anyway,
right. I saw some better ones. I just thought I'd leave him.
Yeah, it's because it's him, innit? Me and him have a little love-hate relationship. Me and Mega Dick. So, yeah. But someone made a comment afterwards and said, "Isn't a boiled egg the same as an unboiled egg?" And I was like, "That's quite true, actually."
So even your comparisons are awful.
Yeah, you just quit, Mega Dick.
We're messing. We're only messing.
We love him really. We love him really.
We do. It's all good fun. Again, football's about opinions. It's all about opinions. Yeah. But Jack Harrison out is just no. We can draw a line there. We can draw a line on that one. I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds tomorrow. What are you guys thinking, Phil?
4-0.
Would dare go to you?
Yeah, 4-0. Easy,
4-0.
maybe more.
Okay. Rhiannon?
I'm going to go 3-1 to Leeds.
Okay. Wayman?
2-0. I think 2-0. I think it'll be comfortable. It could be. It all depends on that first goal, doesn't it? All depends on that first goal. But if we're leading at half time, just put your feet up. We've already won.
Exaros.
Guys, we will be back on for the watch along, not the watch along, sorry, the live lineup reaction at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Then you watch along at 5:45. Then your post match reaction, where Phil will tell us all about how he was spot on about a prediction of 4-0. That'll be at 8 o'clock. Yeah, it will be at 8 o'clock, that one. Then your player ratings. Just subscribe, guys. What more reason do you need to subscribe? It's good banter. It's good fun. And even though the season's coming to an end in the next week or so, there's going to be plenty coming from this channel for every day, forever. That's what we'll say.
We'll have loads. We'll have loads to go through, man. We'll need to do a transfer show, all sorts, man. We've got all sorts. I've spoken to someone as well who's going to come on and be a guest on the show for the transfer boys, so maybe they can pick his brains a little bit and that. So yeah, so just keep it locked at All Leeds TV.
Is it Victor? Is it Victor?
I wish. Maybe we'll get to see Victor at some point. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? I'd like to meet him. I would like.
Yeah,
to
me
meet
too.
Him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. But
did you see the images of him when they'd stopped the Liverpool team bus and there was the guy driving the unicycle thing? Yeah. And it looked so much like Victor. Hey, class.
Oh, dear me. Right, guys, before we sign off, we'll just remind you of our fantastic sponsors, Football Prizes, 2 brilliant prizes on offer, as well as much more. Ian Pervader signed and framed Leeds shirt, $4.95 a ticket.
Young player of the season.
Young player of the season contender. Be interested to see what percentage vote he gets. I'm not sure how much you'll get. 99 tickets available. Competition ends this Wednesday. Get on that one, guys. And then what about this for a piece? Pele signed Brazil shirt in a large montage frame. $6.95 a ticket. 99 tickets available. He won the World Cup not once, not twice, 3 times in 12 years. So get on that, guys. Get on that. What about that for trivia? There you go. Check out Football Prizes, guys. And keep it locked anyway. Big thanks to Phil and Rhiannon. And as always, we'll be back again tomorrow. So on that note, we'll see you later, guys.
Who loves you?